Hi, you're welcome to the Day 7 lecture. And in today's lecture, we'll be looking at StreamLit fundamentals. So we are going to use StreamLit for our GUI design. So permit me as I take you through the slide. So let's look at the learning outcomes. First, we are going to build UI components like sliders, text inputs, and buttons using StreamLit. Second, you're going to understand the reactive rerun model used by StreamLit. Third, you're going to use section date to preserve values between interactions. Fourth, you're going to design dynamic layouts with columns, sidebar, and expander widgets. And fifth, you're going to create interactive dashboards using real-world energy data. So let's start with the introduction to StreamLit. First, StreamLit is an open source library that allows you to create interactive web app for example, a machine learning project with just minimal code. Now, I want you to understand that StreamLit is widely used in ML to create data dashboard, interactive model, exploration tool, real-time analytics interfaces. How do we install that? So what you're going to do, you're going to go to your command prompt and type pip install StreamLit. If you want to do that from your Jupyter notebook, you have to put exclamation mark before the pip. So it means we are going to have exclamation mark pip space install space StreamLit. If you're doing that from your Jupyter notebook, okay? And once we are done with that, we are going to create a file. Don't worry, I'm going to show you the practical aspects, so you shouldn't get worried with that. This is just the lecture we have for the moment. Now, if we want to run that, we'll create a file and name it pip in the format of Py, that is Python file. And if we want to run from our Anaconda prompt, we are going to say StreamLit space run space r.py. Now let's look at the core widget in StreamLit. First, you need to understand what is widgets. So widgets are UI elements such as sliders, text inputs, and buttons. They help us to gather together user inputs in an interactive interface. Looking at st.slider function, we consider it as range input. So a slider allows users to select a value or range. And here is the short code I could use to explain what st.slider function looks like. Here we are going to import our StreamLit as st. And here, assigning the variable value, we'll have our st.slider, choose the value. That is, we're putting a range of 0 to 100, and we are putting that bar 25. You're going to see this, so don't worry. And then we will write st.write slider value. In such a use case, we're going to set energy threshold or prediction intervals. Next on the slide is the st.text underscore input function. We are using this for the text box. So this helps to capture user text. And this is our syntax, just short. So we have our st.text underscore input, then you put the name, assigning that to a variable which we call name. And we put a condition, if name, then st should write hello, blah. Okay, so for this use case, it asks users for a building name, user ID, or notation. So I'm going to show you this. Just make a recall when the time comes. So please do what to remember this theoretical aspect, as I will also take you through the coding section, okay? So let's look at the st button function, which helps for event trigger. And this trigger will specify what action to take. So this is the short syntax where we have if st.button, we have a short text here, great. And we put our column, we say st.success, welcome to StreamLit. It means if it's successful, then welcome the user by saying welcome to StreamLit. So this use case trigger prediction or reset views. Next on the slide, we have the layout and structure. First, we are looking at columns side-by-side arrangement. So what do we mean by that? We are looking at the horizontal layout. So in this layout, we have st.columns. So how many columns do we want to put? 2. So this column, we are going to name it column 1, comma, column 2. So this represents the 2 columns we want. And then for column 1, we are specifying what should be there. And column 2, we are specifying what to write there by using st.write function. So for this use case, it helps to visualize prediction beside input controls. Next we have is the sidebar, filters and settings. So display settings and filter in a side menu. So when we mean side, we're talking about the left or the right side, okay? So in this case, let me say the left side. Okay, so we have st.sidebar.title function, and in this case, we are putting that as app settings. So trash, we are saying that st.slidebar.slider function, whatever we have here, should be assigned to this variable trash. So we set power threshold 0.1, 6.0, and then we have this as 2.0. Then we write the user selected threshold from trash. Okay, so use case. This is a parameter control without clustering the main UI. Next we have is expander. So what's the function of expander? Expander is used to just hide large contents like text, charts, images, etc. in a collapsible container. It means that it's when you click, it will expand. If you click, it will shrink it. Okay, so forget about this typo. It's supposed to be used to hide large contents. Okay, so what's the syntax for that? So we use the st.expander function. So we say with st.expander, then we write this text. We say, right, this app forecasts energy based on input. Okay. So next on our slide, we have the interactive threshold filter. So this refers to a user interface controls that permits filtering data based on a numeric threshold value. So in that code, we will have to import pandas as PD, as StreamLit as ST, put a title, read the file, set the sidebar, slider, and then do your filter function. Then you can write whatever you want here and then set the st.data frame to carry out the filter. Okay, so what could be the expected outcome? So the sidebar slider will filter the data. It's also an interactive outreach update in real time. Styling and advanced widgets. So that is another one we have. And this uses the st.markdown function for HTML. So what does this do? It helps to just beautify. It's like a decoration. So we could use the st.markdown and then do whatever we want. So in this case, we are writing a text, welcome to Smart Energy Advisor Plus. So in this case, we are putting the style as H3 and then the color as green. So you're going to see the reflection of this code in the seminar section. Okay, so like I said, the st.marker function is just to style, customize styling. Okay, just to decorate whatever you're doing. Yeah, we have Plotly and Matplotlib support. Now, let me explain the difference between both. So using Plotly for interactive plot, whereas for Matplotlib is for static plot. So this is a type of static. So T is missing. So how do we go about that? So first of all, we are going to import matplotlib.pyplot as PLT, and then we put our function plt.subplot, assign it to this, and then we are able to plot our graph. Yeah, so the next one we have is media integration. So for the media integration, we are using st.image function and st.video function, which we are using to display images and videos respectively. So C is missing, respectively, C is missing, okay? Okay, so we use this function st.image, we use st.video, whatever the directory, the path directory is you put, okay? So this helps us to add images, video in our GUI. So thank you so much for your attention. If you're just joining us for the first time, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you get notified on my new video. So let's collaborate more and build amazing data apps together using StreamLit. So in my next video, I'm going to put up the coding section and give the first introduction to our StreamLit. So don't forget to join us as we watch or as you watch my next video. Thank you for your support. Have a nice time. I'm signing off now. Bye.